Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Monday, the 3rd of October, 2022. And in today's Meal news, we're going to start off with this to comment about George Long starting for the second game in a row. So this is from southwarknews.co.uk. He deserved to play. Millwall assistant discusses goalkeeper situation after George Long's second start. Many supporters expected, and I was one of them, Bartosz Białkowski to return to the team after the international break. Why did we expect that? Well, from the words of Gary Rowett himself in the interview he gave, he said, well, Bart's still the number one. Okay. Adam Barrett has stated that no players are guaranteed a spot in the starting club after Saturday's 2-1 defeat to Blackburn Rovers. Interesting, okay. Millwall named an unchanged team from the one that beat Blackburn 2-1 at the Den before the international break, with George Long retaining his place in goal over Bartosz Białkowski. This came after manager Gary Rowett told Newsday the former Polish international was set to retain his place as first choice goalkeeper, although he has now missed consecutive games for the Lions. Barrett justified the decision by saying that Long deserved to play, adding that Millwall want a competitive squad where nobody is guaranteed a place in the team. Obviously, Long is coming. The gaffer's spoken at length about his decision and why he's done that, he said after the loss at Ewood Park. Longy got the result last week. He deserved to play and we got the win, so he kept his shirt. We want to be a real competitive squad, a really competitive squad where you've got to perform to keep your shirt. You shouldn't be safe for anyone, and it's no different from the goalkeeper up to the centre forwards. Okay. So that's interesting. Not just like 4 lines of dialogue there, but very interesting to pick it apart. We want to be a bit mean because we're not hearing it in context. So winner stays on, yeah. That's why he made an unchanged team. He's literally like, okay, the team that played Blackpool is the same team. We're gonna, because they won, we'll play the same team again. We'll win that game. Yeah, that's how it works. That's like Sunday League fucking shit. Like, there's no planning, there's no thought, there's no. Like, I know I know Gary Rowett run the marathon this week. He probably had mind on that. But the fact that you're not giving any thought into team selection, and I guess it's probably easier for you if you've got a full squad to pick from, and you don't want to drop people and make changes and upset people. You just keep the same team because they won. Oh, this team won, so we'll keep them, and then winner stays on. And then we want it to be a real competitive squad. You've got to perform to keep your shirt. Okay. So on that basis, then we're going to see Long dropped because he kind of made a gaff with Cresswell. We're going to see Afobe and Malone dropped, yeah, because they were absolute shit against Blackburn. Is that how it works? I don't know. We have to wait and see. But interesting stuff. So the man himself has spoken. So Gary Rowett, obviously after the game at Blackburn Rovers, had to get away because he had to run the marathon on Sunday, so he left early to prepare for that, and he's actually spoken about the game now. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. They are not tactical issues. Mill boss Rowett gives his verdict on the Blackburn Rovers loss. So here we go again. Staunch defender of the 3-5-2. Hardcore. 3-5-2 for life. No cap. Gary Rowett has given his verdict on Mill's 2-1 defeat at Blackburn Rovers on Saturday. The Lions manager did not do the post-match at Ewood Park, heading back to the capital for Sunday's London Marathon, which he ran for the Lions Food Hub. Millwall still win this on the road this season. Their last away victory was at the start of March. Yeah, and I told you yesterday, if you saw that video, we are the worst away team in English professional football. We are now 11 matches without a win, which is the most of all 92 professional league football teams. Tyree Stolen profited from the defensive mix-up between George Long and Charlie Cresswell to put Rovers into 57-minute lead. Then Brereton Diaz quickly added a second at the back post after Lions striker Bennett could only flick on the corner instead of clearing it. Jay Cooper did head home for the Lions, but they have the joint second worst away record this season with just 1 point, with only Huddersfield below them. We only have 1 point away from home so far this season. And I think I'm correct in saying we've conceded 2 goals in every away game this season. And that was our first away goal that we actually scored. We had got 2 against Swansea, but they were own goals. Now here's what Gary Rowett has to say. For an away performance, if you look at up until the first goal, we were pretty much defensively sound and relatively in control of the ball, Rowett told the Southampton press. We had 3 really good moments, one in the first half where if Bennett doesn't make his run across the defender, maybe just run straight, Styles has a chance to put him in. We don't quite get that one right, but it's an opportunity for a 1v1 versus keeper. Hang on, mate, you just said really good moments. So you're saying this fucked up thing that didn't work out, that was one of our really good moments? Okay. Zion had an opportunity to pass to Bennett or Billy early on and just had to float the ball a little bit more than he would have liked. We had 2 or 3 really good positions that in a away game, you want to be solid, go and nick that first goal, then the game opens up. Up until that point, we weren't displeased. Blackburn are a good side at home. We gave away the first goal. You look at Longy, he's just about to drop on it. Cressy's there. And Shaq's there behind Cressy. And there's not really a Blackburn player in a particularly dangerous area. We make a decision, like you have to do in football, and unfortunately it was the wrong decision. And we gave away a goal. Yeah, no, I've looked at that back. I've watched that back quite a few times. Now, one of the reasons why given for bringing Long in was that he was more of a communicator and he was more good with his feet. He didn't shout for that ball. His lips literally did not move. He was watching the ball, going to like ball watching, but as he's going to drop on it, he didn't say anything. So how's Cresswell know to get out of the way? What you don't want to do then is concede the next one. And as we've done quite a few times, we then didn't get that set piece well. Defend the set piece well. We have an opportunity to head it away at the post, and we didn't quite get that right. And we lose in our marker at the back post. Billy's 2 yards behind him with a clear header. It's a difficult one there because if you're Bennett, you don't want to leave it. You want to try and deal with it. You've either got to deal with it properly, or Billy has to give him a shout to then head it away. You see that 100 times in different divisions. The ball just gets cleared very simply. These are the frustrating bits for both of the goals. If you pause them just before the moment and said to someone, is this a goal? They would go, no. It's going straight on his head and it's going straight to the keeper. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot. You're back to the same things that if we don't take that individual counter to stop these mistakes happening, then you're not going to win games of football. I'll be really honest, they're not tactical issues and they're not anything other than poor moments where we're not dealing with it. We need to eradicate them very quickly. It's frustrating that we've had enough chances to go and score the equaliser. It's the same sort of story away from home, and what we can't do is have that such good home form, such poor away form. For me, it's a mentality and a desire to go and do what you can to win a game at home. We need to find that very, very quickly. Otherwise, our season is going to fizzle into a season where we were all hopeful, and it's not going to be what we want it to be. It's as simple as that. It's not tactical. It's not tactical, even though we played a lot better, as I showed you in yesterday's video, when we switched formation to 4-4-2. It's definitely not tactical. It's not tactical. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall set to face new championship managers this week. Yes. We're going to go into this now. Manager merry-go-round. Rotherham United and Middlesbrough are both searching for new bosses before facing the Lions. Millwall could be facing 2 new championship managers this week after the latest round of sackings and resignations. Rotherham United lost manager Paul Warne to Derby County during the international break and are yet to name an official replacement after failing to bring in Cambridge United head coach Mark Bonner last week. The Millers are reportedly set to appoint Exeter City boss Matt Taylor after he led the Grecians to promotion from League Two last summer after their 2-2 draw against Bristol Rovers on Saturday. The 40-year-old told local press that he was offered the job and he would need to make the decision on whether or not to accept it, with the Rotherham Advertiser having reporting that he would most certainly make moves to the New York Stadium. Assuming that the deal is concluded before Wednesday evening, his first game in charge of Rotherham will be against Millwall, with the Lions still looking for their first away win of the season. So this is fantastic for us, isn't it? So just as we're about to play a team, the managers get the sack, and then all the players are like, oh, I might have to start playing properly now in order to impress the new boss, so I don't get shown the way out. Garrett's side are likely to face another new manager on Saturday afternoon when Middlesbrough travel to the Den. On Monday morning, Borough announced that Chris Wilder had been sacked just before his one-year anniversary at the club, leaving them in 22nd place. While a replacement could be brought in ahead of their home match against Birmingham City on Wednesday evening, Lee Perkovich is likely to remain as interim manager until Saturday's game in South Bermondsey. Former Watford boss Rob Edwards is currently the favourite to take over at the Riverside Stadium. John Percy of the Daily Telegraph reporting Gary O'Neill is also in the running depending on what happens with his role at AFC Bournemouth. Carlos Corberán, Sean Dyche and Scott Parker have also been touted by the bookies as potential appointments. So yes, a lot of managers getting a sack. The same story here from London News Online. This is about Wilder. So yeah. Leo Perkovich will take over first team affairs in the interim basis, assisted by Craig Liddell, Mark Tinkler and Lee Catamol, said Borough in a statement. The club would like to place on record its thanks to Chris and his staff for all their hard work over the past 11 months. Middlesbrough are 22nd in championship standings, and they are at home to Birmingham City on Wednesday night. Wilder was handed the job in November 2021, ending a 7-month break following his dismissal of Sheffield United. And what happened to Sheffield United? It's gone on leaps and bounds. And a lot of Millwall fans go, oh, let's get Wilder. Why would we want to sign Wilder? He's another one of these managers who is, what would you call them? 3-5-2 fundamentalist? Fanaticalist? He's as crazy as Gary Rowett is for this 3-5-2. And what's it done for him? Cost him 2 jobs over a year. Fantastic stuff. Keep playing 3-5-2. Even if you don't have the players for it, just keep playing it. And you can see here, they've obviously have gotten the hump and just shown him the door. And here we go. This is from SkySports.com. Championship silly season. Is it silly? Why is it? Wouldn't it be more silly to keep a manager who's not going anywhere, just dragging you down? 8 managers gone already after just 11 games, 22-23 campaign. We've only just passed the first weekend of October, but 8 championship clubs have already changed their managers this season. And then they promote the games on I think the Rotherham game, it might be on the red button. It says all midweek matches are live across Sky Sports. I don't know if it would probably be on Millwall TV as well if you want to bit of torture yourself. We are hitting unprecedented territory for managerial turnover in the Sky Bet Championship. Chris Wilder's sacking by Middlesbrough on Monday means 8 of the 24 clubs in the second tier have either sacked or seen their boss depart since the start of the season. By the same stage in the last 2 campaigns, there had been just 1. Now, what is this about? I'm not too sure. Could it be COVID? Obviously, with the COVID situation, in terms of jobs, people wouldn't want to leave one job and go to another. So that might be a situation. Now, all this is coming through now because we're seemingly back to normal. there's not going to be any problems, even though they keep trying to spin it that the cases are going up and stuff. Like, I think even if it does, nobody's got the appetite for another lockdown and all that bullshit. So yeah. And they say there was also a summer of upheaval in the Championship, with 7 clubs changing managers following the end of last season. So literally in the summer there were a load of changes. There's a load of changes now after 11 games. We must be one of the few clubs. So what was that? They said, let me do a bit of quick math. 8 clubs this season and 7 in the summer, so that's 15. So half of the league, over half of the league, yeah. So we are one of 9 teams who have not changed their manager from the summer onwards. 9 teams only. Could it be time? I don't know. If Gary Rowett loses on Wednesday, I think he needs to win, to be honest with you. If he wins, I think he buys himself a lot of time. If he doesn't win, even if it's a draw and a good draw, like if we're losing and he comes back, still no. People have had enough of this shit. So here you go. These are the ones who have changed this season. You've got 2 left. All the others were sacked. And then they go through them all. I'm not really bothered about that, but I'm just showing you. So a lot of clubs have changed their manager because they probably wanted to do during COVID, but couldn't do it. And they didn't know the financial situation, how much money they had, what it was costing them. And now they do. They're like, well, okay, let's ship these fucking losers out. Fuck them off. Will Millwall be in that situation? We don't know. But more on that later. No, I'll talk about it now here. This. So in yesterday's video, I didn't have this because I think the guy's got another job and he does this. Takes a lot of time. So this is the XG line over the 90 minutes. This, you can see both teams dog shit in the first half. We had 2 shots. Millwall in black for some reason. I don't know why. It should be yellow. We had 2 shots in the first half. In 45 minutes of football, 2 shots. So averaging 1 every 22 minutes. Fantastic, no? That's what you want. You want to sit in this place, sit in a seat and watch something, and only have something happen every 22 minutes. Yeah, just complete fucking dog shit. You need to see from the 30th minute all the way to the 65th minute, didn't have a chance on goal. What an amazing spell of football that was. And you can see obviously something's happened in the dressing room at Blackburn. The manager's had a word and said, do this. We can see problems with Millwall. They come out, all guns blazing. A little staircase, and then they get the goal. And then another staircase, and then they get the goal from the corner. And then they seemingly defend for the rest of the game because they don't have another bit of XG from their goal to the end of the match. That's when we come into it. So they've gone 2-0 up. And they thought, okay, well, we can defend now. I'm pretty sure we can defend against a shit Millwall team. We can't even fucking score on away from home. And they were right. They managed to concede only 1 goal, so they still got the win, which is the aim, to get the win. Now, let me show you this in terms of the Rotherham game. While I'm showing you this in today's video. The Rotherham game coming up. Let's have a look at what they did on their match on Saturday, and what do you think our line's going to look like against Rotherham? Here's Rotherham. Look at Rotherham. Look how shit Rotherham are. From the 33rd minute until the end of the game, 90 minutes, so 60 minutes of football, Rotherham, they had 1 shot on goal. Against Wigan, at home to Wigan, they are dog shit. Even though they're higher in the table than us, they are dog shit. If we don't win against them, we got problems. We haven't won an away game in 11 matches. Capiche? You understand? This is who we're playing on Wednesday. They played against Wigan. and Wigan made them look like dog shit. This is how important it is for us to perform. And if we don't, let's go and get Wigan's manager, because he must fucking know what he's doing, because he did something there. Anyway, moving on to happier things. Happy things. The Bristol City under-21s came to the Den today to play Millwall under-21s. I was there along with 100 or so other people, and it was a 1-1. Mason Bennett made a surprise start for Millwall. Played 45 minutes, looked alright, looked very good. Linking up well with Abdul Malik and Isaac Lofi. So let's have a read of this match report from millfc.co.uk. Millwall under-21s drew 1-1 Bristol City in the Sky Bet Championship in the Professional Development League South on Monday afternoon. Mason Bennett gave the Lions a lead at the Den, but Ben AC equalised just before the break. The Robins were reduced to 10 men on the stroke of half-time as Tommy Buckwell was shown a second yellow card, but they held on in the second half to claim a point. Kevin Nugent opted to give Bennett a run out in the first half, whilst Connell Truman started between the sticks alongside the usual likes of Arthur Penny, Alfie Allen and Abdul Malik. Bennett confidently stroked the ball past the goalkeeper to open the scoring. The City and AC then took advantage of a cheap concession off the ball to restore parity. The two sides currently occupy the top two spots in the Professional Development League's Southern section, and the Lions' next game sees them travel to Queen's Park Rangers on Tuesday the 11th of October, yes. And that game is set to be at Loftus Road as we talk now, but they may very well change. Absolutely brilliant pass to Mason Bennett from, I believe it was George Walker. I think it was George Walker. An absolutely splitting pass that sent him away. Good eye for that. The team was Truman, Walker, Adam Maliki, Smith, Penny, Ockley, Allen, Lawson, Balafi, Abdul Malik and Bennett. And the subs were Drost, Gilmore, Leahy, Boating and Essay. And I believe all of the subs were used except for Gilmore. Yeah, they were, yeah. Drost came in on half time for Mason Bennett. 45 minutes. There's match stats here, but okay. So yeah. And where does that leave them? Just so they lost the last game against Reading away, even though they were playing Andy Carroll. They drew this game 1-1. Bristol City, after the player got sent off, they just played short passes to each other in the middle. They stopped playing long balls. No one was doing any runs. Nothing like that. It was literally passing it around, trying to get up the pitch, trying to stay in shape, stay in formation, staying dense, staying in the middle, not taking any chances. They were hard to break down. And as the game went on, you could see Millwall trying to figure out, what the fuck are we going to do here? And then they ended up, after the substitutions came on, Leahy came on, they kind of settled on trying to come down the wings. Then they would get turned back and go back to the central defenders, and then try again on the other side, or go back again. And then they were trying to break the offside traps, pinging little balls over the top for players to run into, because there was no space, because Bristol were just so dense in the middle. And that nearly worked a couple of times. Boateng kind of went up, clashed with the keeper. Of course, the referee gives them the free kick. There's nothing in there. And then was it Tom Leahy gets on and just kind of gets a touch on it. It just doesn't sit right and land right, and it goes to the goalkeeper. But there are a couple of couple of decent chances, just didn't happen. But Bristol City, very good team, well organised, well drilled, know what they're doing. And as I say, that leaves the table looking like this now. What is the aim? The aim is to win the trophy. This league is not the trophy. This league is a qualifier for the trophy. If you finish in the top 2, then you go into the knockout stages. So you don't need to win this league to win the big trophy. That's not the aim. Now, interestingly enough, so you can see here Bristol City are unbeaten still. Millwall have the 1 defeat, so Bristol City are top just by 1 point. We still 27 goals we've scored. Scored a lot of goals. The southern section is very, very strong. The northern section is lesser. If we go back, you can see more defeats, less points, more goals conceded, less goals scored. So when I say Millwall just need to finish in the top 2, if Millwall finish second, they'll end up playing a team that finishes first in the North in the semi-final. Now, as we've said, the North is shit. Millwall should and could beat that team, and then go through to the final, which most likely will be against a team that finishes top of the South. If it's Bristol, it seems to be between us and Bristol at the moment. There's a long way to go though, so don't count the chicken. So we don't have to win this league. We just have to be in the top 2. Then we're in the knockout stages against the northern teams are not very good. And then if we go through that, we're probably going to likely play the other southern team in the final. So there you go. Like I said, QPR next week. Set to be a 1 o'clock kickoff, not 12 that it says here. And also set to be at Loftus Road, but we don't know yet. Not too sure. Now, yeah, we're going to finish up now with Loanwatch. So this is from southernnews.co.uk. Millwall goalkeeper Joe Wright was on the wrong end of a major FA Cup upset as his Bath City side lost 1-0 at home to Sevenoaks Town. Romans, who play in the National League South, were knocked out of the competition in the third qualifying round by a side who currently occupy 17th place in the league below. Wright played the full 90 minutes of the match, although he wasn't at fault for the goal that saw the hosts suffer an embarrassing defeat. There's a video of it there, but it's taken from behind the goal at a weird angle. So shall I play it? Do you want to see it? Here you go. Yeah! See there, defending wise, no seconds, no thirds, not picking up the second and third balls. Ryan Sanford's Weymouth were also in FA Cup action on Saturday afternoon, although he was benched for their home tie against Welling United to allow new signing Zaki Hula to make his debut. The Terrors won the match 3-0, securing their second victory of the season in all competitions. Yes, and Ryan Sanford's loan at Weymouth has now ended. He was there for a month, and they've signed this new goalkeeper. And they put a story on their website saying thanks for Ryan Sanford and some other geezer that they signed with, and they let go as well. So Ryan Sanford looks like coming back to Millwall after being at Dover and then Weymouth. So there you go. Now this is a weird one. In the National League, Kamal Grant started for Daniel Redbridge. They lost 5-1 away to newly promoted Dorking Wanderers. The defender was brought off at half-time, while fellow Millwall loanee Visart Topolodge was an unused substitute. The defeat leaves the Daggers in 14th place, with manager Daryl McMahon receiving substantial criticism for the poor start to the season. Yeah. What happened here? Well, I watched the highlights. Last week they were at home and they won 5-4 against Barnet. They played 3-5-2. And all a bit weird. I don't know, all crazy game. In this game, they played 4-4-2. Kamal Grant, watched the highlights. He looked pretty good. Now the geezer who's playing alongside, Manny Onorisi, or whatever his name is literally like a 5'7" playing centre. Absolutely shocking. Dagenham's main goal scoring threat, Josh Walker, got sent off, second yellow, at the end of the first half. Half time, Kamal Grant gets taken off. It's tactical change because of the red card, injury. What's going on? But they still play 4-4-2. So what happened there? Why did you take him off? I don't know who they brought on, so I didn't look that far into it. But then you still play 4-4-1 or whatever you played, and at half time they were only 2-0 down. So they end up shipping 3 goals in the second half, and it's an absolute mess down there. And a lot of the Dagenham fans are not happy with the manager. Yeah. So elsewhere, Alex Mitchell played the full 90 minutes of St John's 2-1 win away at Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership. The defender picked up a yellow card in stoppage time, was able to help his side record their 3rd win of the season. The Saints are now up to 8th place in the table ahead of Wednesday match against Kilmarnock. Yeah, I watched the highlights of this as well on BBC iPlayer Sports Scene programme. He played well, Alex Mitchell, but he was at fault for the Dundee United's goal. Luckily, St Johnstone were 2-0 up. They were all backs to the wall trying to defend. And they whipped a cross in. Outswinger. No, curling in. They just hit it towards the back post. There's no Dundee United player there. He's running in, but he's a bit back. So he's not going to get there, really. Realistically. If he does, he's not really going to do anything with the ball. Alex Mitchell jumps up, heads the ball, but can only head it because it's quite a high ball. He only heads it straight up. So now that Dundee United player is running in, has now got a bit of extra time to get to the ball, because what Alex Mitchell should have done was pretend that he's going up to jump and get the ball, and then duck his head down and let it go out, because it would have went out for a goal kick. Job done, no problem. But he didn't. He thought, I'll win the ball. He didn't win the ball. He half won the ball. Basically provided the geezer with an assist, headed up. And then there was kind of a scramble between the other St Johnstone players and the Dundee United player trying to get the ball. And then it ended up going in the goal. So he was at fault for that goal, but he still did. He still got a decent score. We look at scored.com, and if we go to the rating, Stevie May only played 70 minutes, got a 9 rating, hit the bar, had an assist. I don't know what C means, but got the goal as well. So, damn, what 2 shots, 1 on target. Cracking bit of play there. So Alex Mitchell, 6th best player, did get a 7 out of 10, 7.06. Had 44 touches of the ball. If we go offensively, no, he doesn't really do anything offensively. Yeah, he didn't do anything. Defensively, Alex Mitchell 3 tackles, which most, yeah. 1 interception, 9 clearances, 9. So you can see why he tried to win the ball in the air and clear it out. He didn't really get on, he just headed it straight up. 9 clearances. Block shots, 1. Fouls, gave away 3 fouls, but he played really well, 7.06. Passing wise, 28 passes, 67.9. Accuracy, 6 long balls, 3 of them are accurate. So there you go. Alex Mitchell winning against Dundee United. And still playing very well, despite being at fault for the goal. Now, hopefully, they managed to. They managed that. They show that to him and say, "Oh, you do this. You should have done that," and it's all discussed quite evenly. The players on the pitch, they didn't kind of really react that badly. I think the goalkeeper was kind of gesticulating in terms of winning the second ball, but it is what it is. What are you going to do now? Reminder: Rotherham are dog shit. If we don't beat them, we got problems. Come back tomorrow for the preview of the Rotherham game. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.